Hey there guys, welcome to my channel, Stampin' with No-No. My name is Teresa and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Well, today's video, I'm super excited to be doing this video. This will be the second time I've made this fun fold card. It is called a floating hexagon card, and this is my version of it. Decided to go ahead and do an Easter card with this. Never made this fun fold before. I was quite intimidated by it. And when you stand it up, you can see why it's called the floating hexagon, because of this front part is floating. Now, last weekend, I participate in a blog hop. I did not last week because they were doing this floating hexagon card and I was quite intimidated by it. I watched all of the ladies who did a fabulous job with their versions of it, and I thought I've got to try this, and this is my version, and we're going to go ahead and get started. This one is going to be for my mother-in-law, but I'm going to make one that can be used as a masculine card at Easter time. So let me bring out all of my stuff that we're going to work on. Absolutely had so much fun doing this, and I'm glad I talked myself into doing it and not let it intimidate me because, well, the name intimidated me, and then I started watching all these videos and I thought, I cannot do this, but proved myself wrong. All right, so I got all these little pieces over here already pre-cut. Let me make some room over here on the side, and we're just gonna dive in and go for it. I'll go through some of the measurements. I'll try to remember to anyways, and I will definitely have them on my blog in case you miss it. So we're going to do some scoring on the card base. I'm going to use, make some room here. I'm going to use Misty Moonlight, and it's going to measure 4 1/8 by 5 1/2, and it's definitely 4 1/8 because you need to have enough room for this band to go around. You know, it sticks out just a little bit, so you want to make sure that it fits in the envelope with no issues. So we're going to go ahead, where's my little cheat sheet here? Put that over here so I can see it. So on the short side, we're going to score at 3/4, and then 3 3/8, and that's all the scoring we need to do on that one. And let me move that over to the side. We have I call it the band, I don't know what else to call it, that goes this piece here and this piece here. And excuse me, we want to get a piece that measures 5 3/4 by 1 1/4. Now, the 1 1/4, you can play around with it and make it a little bit more narrow or wider, however you want. But definitely the width should be 5 3/4. So we're going to go ahead and score both of these. We're going to do 3/4, 2, 3 3/4, and then 5. Switch it up. Do the other one. 3/4, 2, excuse me, my allergies are kicking up. 3 3/4, and 5. All right, I believe that's all the scoring that we need to do. So I'm going to move that score pal out of my way. And let's see what's next. Just do some DSP cutting. I went ahead and did that, so I'm going to go ahead and show you what that is. I do have an extra piece. The way I cut the 6x6, I was able to salvage a piece, and I'll use that for the envelope if I don't forget. The DSP that I'm using is this beautiful Thoughtful Journey. I just thought that was perfect DSP to use for the backdrop of the Hexagon card. So with that, we need, oh, we also need the back part. Sorry, I didn't show you the back part. I'm sorry about that. This is the back that we're going to do. Because obviously there's no room in the front there to write your message. So I did a basic white for the back. So you'll need the 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. And we're going to be stamping that soon. Then the DSP that goes in the front here. And then there's 4 pieces. 1 here, 2, flip it over, 3 and 4. And the DSP that I selected, the one sheet, it really doesn't matter. Like this one pretty much flows. You can see that I intentionally cut it a certain way. This particular pattern, you really can't tell. So the DSP is 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. Then you're going to need 4 pieces that measure 5/8 by 5 1/4. And that's what these are, okay? So I'm going to stick those over to the side. I don't think, let me go ahead and glue. We're going to change this up because I got all these pieces. So we need to start getting rid of some of these pieces, right? So I'm going to bring over the card base. And I'm going to have this one be the front. Now I don't, and this is me, you guys do however you want. I don't fold and burnish until I put my DSP on because I can see the score marks a lot better, and it's easier for me to line up the top piece or the bottom, whichever you're measuring, when it's not folded. When it's folded, I just don't know why, but I just struggle. So I'm not going to do that yet. So piece goes here, and one goes here. That's the flip side. And then this one will go in the center. All right, so that's how that one's going to go. And let me get some glue here. I had to play around with my glue bottle today. It kept getting clogged. I'm not quite sure why, but I really worked on it. I mean, I felt like I've been doing a lot of card making. So I'm going to put the blue up the top just because I'm going to pretend it's sky. And it is. So I'm just going to line that up in the center. And, you know, the top part, the band, is going to go here. And then there's one that's going to go here. So you don't really need to worry too much about the top part and the bottom being even. As you can tell, mine's not, which is fine because you're not going to see it. What really matters is what's right in here. Oop, almost did that upside down. Put the blue up top. And just center that. There we go. A little bit more glue. I was so excited when I got to make this card. I watched all the videos and everyone did it a little bit different, which I absolutely loved the way they did it. And I thought, oh, what is it that I'm going to do? So that's why I came up with this. It's a little bit different. All right, so the back, I'm going to wait because we want to put this band on first. It gets wrapped and gets glued here, so we want the DSP to actually cover it. So we're going to worry about the back later. All right, so I'm going to put these two off to the side right here. So let's work on the band. All right, so we got the 2 bands, which is going to be here. And I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but this is, what is this? Petunia Pop. And you can certainly put more DSP, but I really wanted the focus to be in the background. So I did tone on tone. I took a strip of the Petunia Pop, ran it through the, what is that, embossing, the exposed brick 3D, one of my favorites. I ran that, and then I cut the pieces down. Let me show you what I did here. So you're going to need 2 pieces that measure 1 5/8 by 1 1/8, and that's for one here and one here. And then you're going to need 4 that go 2 ends at the top and the 2 ends at the bottom. And that measures 1 1/8 by 1 1/8. And again, you need 4 of those. So what I ended up, I should have done it on this, but you know, this was kind of my sample. I should have shaded the Petunia Pop since it was exposed brick to kind of give it more oomph in the look. And that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to bring over my scrap paper, and we're going to use Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to shade all of these pieces, and I think it will show up a lot better than what you can see here. Let me get rid of all this. So on this one, I want the, let's see, how do I describe it? The brick, I want the brick part up so that it'll take the ink a lot better. So ink it up. Ooh, that's a lot. And then just lightly go over it. Hopefully I won't brush my nails in ink. And I think you can tell maybe in the camera. Can you tell the difference between the dark? It just, I don't know, just pops. So we're going to do that on all of them. You certainly don't have to do that. Like I said, you know, you guys can do DSP if you like. That would really be pretty. I think a lot of the videos that I saw last weekend, they used DSP throughout. And honestly, it was drop dead gorgeous. But I just wanted to change it up. I like to kind of do my own thing. So I'm just going to shade all that. And I think when it gets put together, you'll really tell a big difference on that. All right, so we're done with the shading for now. I've got more shading going on. Did not get my nails. That's great. All right, so we're going to go ahead and glue. Again, I like to glue pieces down before I actually fold and burnish. I know, I'm weird. But hey, that's what helps me. So I do what works, right? So this is how we want it. Just make sure because it's 1 1/4 by 1 1/4, the brick texture, just make sure it's not sideways. So that's what it's going to look like. All right, so let's go in and do some gluing. So, and I'm gluing everything on this card is glued down. Ooh, I'll wipe that off. I'm not quite sure what happened there. You could probably use dimensionals, but for me, I'm just doing everything flat. And quite honestly, I think some ladies that did the video, I think they actually used dimensionals, but I'm not real sure. So I'll fold all that. We're going to fold and burnish when we're done. And then I don't know if we need to do some stamping. I think I'm just going to go ahead and start gluing the pieces on there. Make sure nothing's right side wrong. There we go. And then that. My March card class is dealing with, not dealing, that's really not the right word. It almost sounds like it's painful, doesn't it? Is focusing on masculine cards. To me, that is like the hardest type of card to do. And that's kind of what drove me to do this one, is because I think the colors, you can easily send it to a male person for Easter. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and fold and burnish I'm hesitating because I think I can do this. I can do this. We're going to go ahead and fold and burnish. I'm going to go ahead and do this first, and then I'll go back with my bone folder. So you just want to make sure that the creases are nice and even. Make sure they're not crooked. That's good. That one worked. Do this one. Now, a lot of demonstrators recommended using tear and tape, but I'm going to use glue. You certainly, if you're not a glue person, I do recommend using tear and tape for this part. Okay, let me go ahead and fold and burnish this. I'm going to fold and burnish both sides, both ways. So I'm going against the score, and then I'm going to just slightly do it this way. So it stands up like that, okay? All right, so what we want to do, taking one of these, let me show it to you this way. We want it to lay down like this, and we want it to lay down, let's see, I'm looking at the brick this way. Yeah, this way. All right, we want it flush on top right here and flush down here at the bottom, okay? That's what it's gonna look. So I'm gonna flip it over because this is how I found the most easiest way to work it. So let's work with the bottom first. I'm gonna flip it over. I think you guys can see okay. And see where these score marks, where it's folded? You want to make this piece in the center just below where it's scored here. In here. It gives you just enough room, and it's just enough that it creates, instead of 4 1/8, it's now 4 1/4, and it'll fit in your envelope. Okay, so we want to go ahead and glue these down. I do have it flush at the bottom, so let me go ahead and add some glue. Now if you're not a glue person, your tear and tape would go. You can use 1 or 2 strips. You want to put it right here. I would avoid putting glue right here on the edge, just in case. I would just keep it, you know, somewhere in the center or on the edge, so you don't want it to flip. So if you're a tear and tape person, go ahead and put tear and tape here and here. But I'm going to use glue. And then you just fold it over. Give it a good press. I guess I cleaned the nozzle today, and I didn't realize how stopped up it was because there's a lot of glue coming out. So, put glue on that side, and there we go. Now, if you're working with DSP, directional paper, just make sure you put it right side up. So there's the start. Now we're going to do the top part. Same way. Let me line this up, make sure I'm right. So I'm going to flip it over. Okay, guys, I'm going to switch it over so I can see down here a lot better at this angle. So I'm going to make this flush at the bottom. Make sure I'm in between the 2 scores, trying to center it as best as you can. There we go. And everything works. All right. So tear and tape here and here, if you're a tear and tape person, or glue. Stampin' Seal Plus might work. I don't know. Like I said before, I don't have it. I just prefer glue, and if I truly have to use tear and tape, I'll use tear and tape, but that's really about it. I tend to use glue for most everything. All right, there we go. We're on our way. So pretty. All right. So now we can go ahead and put the 2 strips to cover this up. I just want to make sure that this is the top, the blue. So I want to make sure I put the blue up at the top for the sky. So let me go ahead and add this. Now, I noticed a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, there are several people that are now doing this fun fold. So I guess it has kicked off, and I absolutely need to go and watch their videos, because what's so great is everybody just has their little twist to it. And I just think it's great inspiration to create your own. And it truly is not that difficult. I was quite intimidated by it. I will admit to that. All right. That is so awesome. You probably can't tell in the camera, but I really can tell. I can see the brick a lot better since I shaded it. All right. So let's do some more shading. Let's go ahead and create the cross. And I did not, of course, shade that, but I am on this one just because I want to see what it looks like. So let me bring over, what am I bringing over? Early Espresso. And I don't think I gave you the measurements for the cross. So again, I'll have all these measurements on my blog if I do forget to mention. We're going to stamp that. All right, so we need a piece that measures 5/8 by 5. We're going to shade that. And then another one for the top part that measures 3 by 5/8. Then I want to mat it like I've done here, and that is 3/4 by 5 1/8, and then 3 1/8. Is that right? Yeah, 3 1/8 by 3/4. All right, but I want to go ahead and shade this. I'm going to do it really light in Early Espresso. I must be pressing really, really hard because there's a lot of ink coming up, which is why you always want to start off your page. And I just want to lightly shade it. I'll show you the difference. Let's see, I didn't get that. I missed that side completely. And I used the raised image. Can you tell the difference, right? I just absolutely love it. And I'll have to show you what embossing folder I used. I did not show you that. And I'm going really, really light. I mean, I'm hardly pressing at all. I'm just trying to get the raised part shaded. There we go. All right, so that embossing folder, again, one of my favorites, is the Timber. So there's that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and glue these pieces. Let me bring this around. I feel like I'm going to be messy. So let me go ahead and glue these down. That. I don't know why I didn't do these cards earlier. I should not let something intimidate me, right? Not let it get me. Now, I think the ladies, the videos that I watched on the Blog Hop, they broke it down for me. And I truly, truly appreciate it. All right, so we go ahead and let's make the cross. So it's going to go here. And I'm just going to center top and bottom. And I want to make sure that the cross is kind of up there. So I'm just going to eyeball it. Again, glue. I'm not sure about dimensionals here, but line it up just a little bit below. And I'm just making sure that it's even here and here. And I think it is. Let's make sure this is straight. I think that's right. I think that'll work. All right. So put that off to the side. Now let's see what else. Let's get some Stampin' going before I put that on there. All right, so let's do the back, which again, I'm doing some shading. In the basic white, I think I mentioned it, but let me do it again. It's 2.5 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to do some shading. I shaded just a little bit. I felt like it was too stark of a white, so to tone it down, I just did a little bit of Daffodil Delight in the center before actually stamping Happy Birthday. So let me go ahead and get that out. Again, Daffodil Delight. I think we're done folding and burnishing, so let me get rid of that. All right, so I'm just going to take it in. You guys go as light or dark as you want. And I think that will work. Just enough to tone it down. And now I'm going to stamp Happy Easter, and that is from, it's retired, the Celebrating You. Very popular stamp set I use a lot. I mean, it just got a little bit of everything. So I'm going to use that Happy Easter. And let's see, I'm going to stamp it in Misty Moonlight. And I don't need the foam since this stamp set has is foam backed. It's not cling or photopolymer. All right, I think I got that inked up pretty good. All right, so I'm just going to go in, center it. Doesn't look like it's centered, but we're just going to do it. Yeah, perfect. Where's my chamois? Here we go. All right, that's it on that. All right, now we can glue it. We can glue that one in place. And that's going to go right here. Do that. After seeing this video, I hope you guys actually try this out. I would love to see your guys' version of it. You guys can go to my Facebook page and put your picture there of your card that you made. I would absolutely love to see what you guys make. All right, we're done with the back, right? Let's flip it back over. Okay, so let's stamp the He Is Risen. And I just got a piece of scrap. It measures, I think it was 1/2 inch. Yeah, 1/2 inch. I just grabbed it out of my bin. I figured I'll just cut it down. So I'm going to do the same thing of He Is Risen, and I'll do it in Misty Moonlight. Hopefully I can center this top and bottom and not worry about the sides. All right. Trying to line it up. Stamps beautifully. All right. We are done with Misty Moonlight. Now the Lily and the Greenery, let's go ahead and stamp that up. I need Memento. I'm going to put that off the side. Let that dry. I need my piercing mat for some foam. Let's do the back so you guys can see what I'm doing. And bring over my lilies and the fern. And that is from the Faith collection. It's an online, I don't even know if it's in stock, but it's just been a fun, super fun stamp set. I ended up using this for a class. I did do another card with it. You guys can check my video out. If I remember, I'll try to link that particular video to this video. And then also I ended up die cutting. So I thought about using this cross, but the cross was too small, and that's why I ended up creating a larger cross. So let's see. I need scrap paper, basic white, just some scrap. And, oh, let's see, Memento, because I'm going to do some blending with my blends, my markers. So stamp it up. And let's just go this way. Just need one of that. and one of the larger lily. I'm going to do right here. I don't know why I keep looking to my left for my chamois. My chamois on the right. So we're done with the black memento. So we need 2 of the ferns. So let me get Mossy Meadow is what I decided to use. Old Olive would really be pretty, but I wanted something just a little bit darker. But you can certainly use Old Olive. And I'm going to stamp here. And then maybe here. I didn't check. Hopefully this is not off camera. And there. All right. Now I did go ahead before videotaping, die cut the pieces, but I wanted to show you how I did the lilies. I used just 2 colors. I used the light and the dark, Daffodil Delight. I started to use light peach pie, and I decided no, I wasn't going to, because I wanted to bring in some color here, and I decided not to. So you can certainly bring in a 3rd color, but I elected just to use 1 color, but using the light and the dark. And then, of course, I had to use Wink of Stella. You can't see it on there, but it's definitely there. So since I'm only using 2 colors, I'm going to start out with the light, and I always use the nub side. And I'm just going to fill all of it in. I'm not going to worry too much about crossing over in the line because I already have flowers die cut off to the side that I'll bring over once I'm done. And you can tell I'm not like going super slow. I'm definitely not pressing really hard with the marker. Very light touch. And I'm not real worried about missing pieces because I'm going to go over it again. But I do the whole in the light, and then I'm pulling out the dark Daffodil Delight, again the nub, and just going in the center. Nothing perfect. I'm just putting just a little bit of that dark. Okay, just a little bit. Don't have to go crazy. And then because it's still wet, I'm going to go back over and blend in that dark that I just put in with the light. And it just kind of like melts into the color, just the way it blends. I love these markers. I think they make you look like you're a true artist with the way it blends so well. And then there we go. All right, I'm going to use that for another one. And let me put that off to the side. We might be ready for some gluing. So let me bring over the 2 pieces that I die cut, again in Mossy Meadow, and then the 2 different lilies. All right, so let's go ahead. Now, oh, I forgot I had some ribbon. And this is from it's Daffodil Delight. I forget what suite is from the mini catalog, but I want to drape it around. So what I want to do, I don't even know how many inches. It's probably about 8 inches. I just cut. I wasn't paying attention because I can cut it down. So what I want to do is wrap it around the top part, and then I want it to fold down like that. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here, and then I'll put just a little bit of glue here just to tack it down. It's not going to go anywhere because I am using glue, but I want it to lay really nice in the front. So let's see, put it here. Just, you guys can tell I'm not putting a whole lot. And then just wrapping it around. I don't even know if that's kind of sort of centered, but that's all right because I'm going to probably trim it down. All right, so I want to bring it down like that. I'm just going to tack just a smidgen. You probably use glue dots, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to put just a dab of glue will do ya. And the same thing here. Dab of glue. All right. Yeah, that's a little long, but that's all right. I'll trim it down. All right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and glue this to here. Now, the other cards, the floating hexagon cards, they have a piece of clear adhesive that gets glued underneath this strip, and it's basically a strip. And then you, in essence, of floating, you have images that looks like it's freestanding. So, you know, let's just pretend that I had a piece of adhesive here, not adhesive, what do you call that? The clear sheet, and I glued pieces here. When you hold it up, it looks like it's floating. Well, beautiful cards, but I ended up wanting to turn out to be this whole big cross, and I don't really need that in the back because I'm adhering this to the top and the bottom. But I'm still calling it a floating hexagon. So there we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue here and here, and I'm just going to, by flattening it, I can do a better job of centering it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here and a little bit of glue up at the top. And then I'm going to center top and bottom, and then left and right. There we go. And I wanted just a little bit of that showing right here. I did not want to bump the cross up against that. I didn't want it to get stuck. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and trim that. That's bothering me. It's way too long. So just snip it and have it long or short, however you want. We'll do that for now. Get these out of the way. All right, so now let's glue here. So I might have to trim that down, this little tail here, but we'll see what it ends up looking like. So I want to do that. And I think I want to do that. Is that what I want? Hide that. And then I can put that there. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. All right, so I'm just going to tack a little glue. You know, again, dimensionals might work. I don't know. I'm going to put that right up in there. Let's make sure that tail, I might have to clip that. We'll see. I'll wait till I get it done and see if you see it. And then there, do that. It kind of blends in right there. I don't think I need to trim it, but I'm going to probably trim that just a smidgen, just to make sure. You may not have to do it if you end up using this stamp set. And then I want this down here. Yeah, I probably did need to trim it. I'll do that. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope it inspires you to create this card. If not this card, then at least this fun fold. And then I'll just do that there. I think that's gonna work. Let's see, I don't want to hide it too much. And then I need to add Wink of Stella, but I'm not going to do it now because it'll be wet, and I don't want to get sparkles all over the place. So I'm just going to freehand just trim it. I want a little bit of a tail, so I'm just going to go at an angle. But you guys can actually die cut a label out. That would be really pretty if you wanted to do that. And I'm just going to add some glue. And then just center. There we go. Oh, this is gorgeous. I actually need to cut that. This way, I think. There we go. All right, so embellishments. Let's see where to go. Oh, here we go. Perfect selection. The Dragonfly and Birds adhesive back that you can get on there not through the online store. Easier for me to say, right? So here's some doves. I thought it was perfect to use the doves on this card since it's Easter. And I'll just put it, I'll put it here. I don't know where I want to put it. I'll put it here. There we go. I'm just going to use one. You guys can certainly add, certainly add more. All right, so we're done with that one. All right. Oh, that's just gorgeous. That's gorgeous. I think my mother-in-law is going to love this one. And in the back. I hope you guys can easily see just by using the Misty Moonlight, it can easily be as a masculine card to someone for Easter. Oh, I got to do the envelope. So let me pull that over. I forgot about the envelope. Let me do that real quick. So the way, I did mention it before, the way I cut my DSP, I was able to salvage a piece. I don't know what this is, 3/4 by 6. So I was able to save it, and if I find the sticky side down. And for my, I'm not going to say non-glue people, but for my customers that absolutely love this, this goes out to you guys. I'm going to go ahead and put just one strip, maybe, of adhesive. Let me start this. Oh, wow. That's really turned. There we go. And then I go all the way down, and then before lifting, I twist it and then lift so that it avoids getting that stringy adhesive. And then I'm going to add this, line it up. I didn't leave much room back there. And then I'm just going to trim off the excess. Perfect. Beautiful card. That went over just a little bit. Didn't line it up very good, but that's all right. I'm going to fix it. They'll never know. There we go. Beautiful card with a matching envelope. Guys always have to have matching envelopes, right? It's a rule. Gotta have it. All right, guys. Easy peasy. Don't let a fun fold intimidate you. I'm proof of that. You can overcome it. Super easy. Hopefully, with my little modifications, the layout was really easy for you guys to duplicate. Again, if you end up doing it, please, please, please post a picture. I would absolutely love to see what you guys do with it. I just love to see other people's creations. It makes me happy. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. I've got my March card class video that I need to be working on, and I'll get that up and running before too long. So, guys, take care. Have a wonderful week. And as always, happy stamping. Take care.